up? It's kid time for another video. Most of the time you see me do something kind of original here, but today we're actually going to copy something. Okay, so lower down this. There we go. So we are going to be copying something, and we're not just gonna copy something random. Okay, we're gonna copy one of the really good jigging hooks out there because I want to show you a swivel rig on this jig right here, but I couldn't find a ready-made one. This was supposed to be a quick video. So we'll be doing this particular assist hook with a little bit of a caveat. It will have it would look almost the same, but it won't be exactly the same because we're using assist cord with wire. That's A, although it would look quite similar to the original. And also, instead of just white pearl flash, we're actually going to be using pink, even if I do have the flash, because I like pink. Simple as that. Okay, so we are going to recreate the VMC 7264 assist hook. And I'm going to show you how to rig it on this Storm Gomoku Slim jig. This is an 80 gram and we're using 5/0 hooks. So if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today I'm showing you how to tie pretty much almost the step-by-step of tying the VMC 7264 assist hook. We have the VMC 7264 here, obviously. And instead of the usual thread that they're using, we're actually going to be using fishing braid. And this will give us a bit higher quality, and also the wraps are also going to be kind of a bit slimmer. Okay, so although the steps are the same, the materials are not. So materials are slightly different. If you don't want to go through these steps, just go ahead and buy the ready-made assist hooks from VMC. They're quite good. I've used them for years, and yeah, one of our favorites really. So we start out with the thread base. Okay, like so, and then we put our flash. Okay, here's our flash. A bit too much there, so what I'll do is actually divide it in half. Okay, save the half for later, or just chuck it. In this case, I'm probably gonna chuck this. All right, so right there, and then the trick here is not to bind it too close to the eye, and also for this particular tie, we are going to leave a lot of space in front. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that close, and that's pretty much it. Now as for this, I don't want to lose any of the fibers, so I'm gonna burn the tip and fuse it so that next time when I tie, I'll have the same exact one. Okay, I'm gonna chuck this because this isn't for tying really. It's I found it in a bookstore and I saw it and I was like, hey, I could use that. There we go. So that's that. Now all you have to do is just really secure that. If you want to use super glue on this right now, you can. Okay, so what you want is to tidy this up, but not really super tidy it, because you don't want the wraps to be too thick. Okay, now we have our cord. I cut the cord. This is marine white. Oh, this one. Marine white, number 30. And this has wire. Because Barracuda. Okay. We make a... This is not the usual way to tie it, I have to say. You could actually skip the step by already tying this onto a solid ring. But we'll do that later. So there's a bunch of ways to tie it. And you can jumble up the order. Okay, so I am going to do a half hitch, square knot, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, see, as you can see, it's kind of long. Like, again, what we want to do is just tie that like so. Okay, make sure that this is tight. And then we cut this. I always say this, especially when you're dealing with stuff like this with wire, invest in good quality cutters. There we go. Cuts clean, cuts fast. That's it. Okay, there we are. And then we just tie. And we what we want to do here is tie tight, tie clean. Okay, I nicked my braid, as you could see there, and it hit the tip of the hook. Don't panic. If that happens, just pull on the thread, trap it, do a few wraps, and then continue on as usual. Okay? Don't panic. When braid is in tension, it's very brittle. Okay, now I'm gonna have to change my glasses. There we go. Much better. I need a microscope for this. Okay. And you'll see this is gonna be super, super clean. And it's going to be quite a faithful reproduction. Although we're using different materials, but it's going to look exactly, or almost exactly like the original. We're using pink, we're not using white. That's the only thing. Pink flash instead of white flash. That's the only thing that you would be able to kind of see that's different. But even the marine white actually looks like the same cord that they're using. Obviously, the one that they're using does not have wire. This one has. Okay, the glue that we're gonna use is also different, obviously. There we go. And how we glue it is also different. Pretty sure that they have their own process, and actually haven't seen. I should have asked when I went to the factory. But I wasn't able to. Because I had like a factory tour. And I saw how the big game hooks were getting sharpened, how the hooks were getting tempered. Very high-tech facility. Okay. Just making sure that everything is coated, which it is right here. That looks good, man. Holy crap. I don't have time, so we're going to zap it. But normally, you shouldn't. Okay? Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring you guys in so that you see exactly what the process is from start to finish, okay? Okay, so there we go. And then the thread. Okay, so what happens here is that your thread base should be up to the shank right there, and then you come back. Okay, you need to make that really clean because that's gonna kind of hold the flash in place, yeah? A bit trickier with braid because it slips and slides all over the place. There we go. Okay, now you put your flash. Now, you want your flash to be starting there. Because this space right here, up front, is going to be taken up by your knot. And you don't want obstruction. Okay, now, if you see here, I'm going to leave about that much. I'm not going to tie all the way to the end. I don't know the reasoning for that. Tell you honestly, I haven't asked why, but that's how they tie it. Okay, there we go. Now, just so we stay consistent, we're going to cut the length equal. There we go. It's there. There. So, both of these will have the same length. They look very identical. Now, the thing with this is that you can leave gaps there. It doesn't really, kind of doesn't matter because at the end of the day, that will be um, covered by the wraps. Okay, so I made the cord a bit extra long so that we have there. Okay, so see that? Put a little bit more maybe, so we could because the thing with this is that they kind of don't have a set length. There. Okay, now because the we're gonna put a knot on the hook, sorry, on the assist cord for the um, ring. There we go. So again, we're tightening that so that this knot won't move. We're almost there. We're almost there. This is not a step that you take for this normally, but what you do is secure the hook so you don't get in trouble. Okay, and I found that, as you can see here, I have I'm trying this out actually, see if it works. But this is better, hopefully, than the masking tape because we're wasting so much of the masking tape. So hopefully this would be able to kind of step up to the job and help us. And it's just a normal Velcro strip. Okay, so again, we are going to we're going to lash that in and then cut this guy. Okay, that's a bit too long for my liking, so we're gonna back up a bit, pry this up. Remember, that's wire, you can't use scissors unless you want to mess your scissors up. You just cut it a little bit to make it the perfect length. And then, there we go. Now, this thing is still kind of bothering me, so let's see if we can reposition it better. Okay, there we go. See that. Then yeah, that'll work, huh? This one needs to stop moving. There we go. That'll probably work. So there, be careful of the tip because of this, because you might just mess that up. You will snag your braid or your thread, and there it goes. So we're cleaning that. This side is definitely harder than the other. Okay, so now we will make a very clean transition here, like that. I have to say, this might be just cleaner than the originals because we're taking our time. Now, the factory workers, of course, when they tie, they're in a hurry. But for this one, we're actually taking our time. So, man, you should see those girls actually work. I've seen some that are tying rigs. They're nuts. I went to the mustard factory a long time ago and have seen how they tie rigs. And I thought I was fast. Those girls put me to shame. All right, so now that we have that, we will put our finishing knot. There we go. Okay, little bit of thread left there. Just bang, that's it. Okay, now it is super glue time. We're gonna hand hold this because it's just faster that way. Okay. So all this because I wasn't able to find a ready-made one, but at least what we have done also is do a recreation of the 7264's production, so that you can, if you like this assist hook, you can buy the hook and then you can see how it's tied, right? So a very faithful, an almost, I would say a 90% recreation of the method of tying the 7264 assist hook. Because there's the 7264 hook and then there's the 7264 AH. So this is how you tie the assist hooks, and you could see that these things are so freaking clean. And guess what? If you actually put this side by side with the original, you wouldn't be able to tell. I'm telling you. Maybe you would because, you know, it's pink. But at first glance, no way. No way would you know that there's actually wire on this. No way would you know that, uh, you know, it was tied elsewhere. Okay, so now let's do the let's do the tying. Now also obviously the split rings are going to be different, or the solid ring is going to be different because you know, we don't have their solid ring. But nonetheless, it's going to be quality. Okay, I'm looking for a suitable solid ring here, which we have found right here. Okay, then I'm so tempted to actually do something else, but you know what? We're not gonna do that. Okay, so so because there's no offset for this, and I'm just thinking like, hey, what if I do an offset? But nah, let's not, because you know what? At the end of the day, this video was supposed to be, um, you know, everything's ready made. Here's the jig, here's the hook, and then this is how you put it together. But you know, I wasn't able to find a ready made one, so let's stick with that. You know what? It's too tempting. Okay, so we'll do an offset. So okay, we have our hook puller here, and then we would do a slight offset, which is that. Because you know what? This is an opportunity. Why waste an opportunity, right? And why actually make something that's already existing rather than actually having something that's original? And this is, yeah, this is what we're doing here. So with respect to our friends over at VMC, they tie some mean assist hooks, but let's do something that they don't have, which is this. It's an offset version of the 7264 AH. Okay, so a slight offset. Okay, here we go. So what I'm doing here is just, okay, this loop like that, and then you twist it, and then you put it over like so, and that will make it so that this knot is not going to slip. By the way, this is wrong. I apologize. Uh, the hooks have to face out. My bad. The hooks have to face out. So I am going to flip this over. There we go. The hooks should face out because this is a fast jigging hook. Although theirs actually face in. Okay? So again, we will do something that they don't. Okay? It's not to say that the hooks that they're making don't work. It's just that we want ours to be a bit more kind of politically correct, I guess, for fast jigs. Okay? So it's kind of the same really, you know, because after everything, what's gonna happen is that they're probably gonna just sit in. Okay, but still, you know, we'll make it the way that it's supposed to be, or what we feel is the right way of doing things. Okay, so let me do the knot. I mean, you that the same steps really. You know, it's just that it's very difficult when you're explaining and then when you're doing it, and I don't want to mess it up. So there we go. It looks like that before you close it. Okay, now it's pulled tight. These hooks are so freaking tough. Okay, here we go. So there we go. Okay, so if they don't turn, or if they don't face the way you want them to face, all you have to do is just kind of twist them. Just as long as the strands are in the right orientation, they will. Now, what I'm trying to say is that these two here, up here, do not cross. If they cross, you have a big problem because they're not going to orientate themselves correctly. Okay. Now, kind of too long still for this. So what we're going to do is actually put these on like a 200-gram jig. The jig. Here are the hooks. And if you see, it's actually kind of perfect when it comes to this right here. They both sit out, as you can see. Okay. See? Bit. There we go. So they're point out. Then put this here. You need load-bearing split rings for this. And then a very strong swivel. I mean, don't overdo it too. You want the jig to swim. Okay, so these split rings are actually rated for about 200 pounds. And they're small. I think they're Huts. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so there. And then take the hooks, put them on there. Okay, normally what happens is that you tie on this. Okay, you tie on this. The problem is if you do that, okay, if you do that here, it's gonna sit on one side, which is weird. You know, it still works actually. But how they made the 7264 assist hook is not with separate it's not with separate strands. They did one strand and then divided together. So again, aside from the differences that we purposely put on this. Now remember, we put an offset on this. If we didn't, actually it would have been perfect for this, but we put an offset and then it's kind of longer, so yeah, whatever. So, okay. So what we want is for this to actually hang like that here. And to do that, we put a split ring. Again, a split ring that's rated quite high. You don't have to overdo it, like put something there that's what do you call this, 300 pounds, 400, 500 even. It's not, you know, it's not gonna reach that level. And then your swivel. And then there we go. So you have that. So you can see it actually hangs quite nicely on the front there. And when you buy the stock hooks or the production hooks, it's gonna be like that. They're in one strand and then knotted here, as opposed to spliced. Now they have a spliced version, which are chino hooks. It's a totally different set, and that is for light jigging. But for heavier stuff, this is it, and it pairs really well with the Gomoku Slim. Okay, so this is a copy of the Gomoku Slim. This is actually the original right here. I have the original big one somewhere, but I can't find it. But there we go. As you can see, they're actually very similar. Very, very little difference, if at all. Okay, so I used bigger hooks so that you could see how it's done, but you could definitely scale this down or even scale it up if you want. Okay, and that is it for this video. If you have questions, drop them in the comments section. And actually have a bonus. Is there a way, I almost forgot this, is there a way for you to integrate everything without split rings and then have a swivel there? Good news for guys over at in Asia, yes, and you will have access to it. Bad news for the guys over at the US because you might have a hard time if you actually do not go straight to Japan, and it's not cheap. All right, but I'll show you something really cool. I mostly use this for well, it's actually for jigging, but you could use it for casting. So you take everything off, okay, and it'll make everything faster. And I guess the guys over at the States would, when they see this, they would have their tongues wagging because these guys, they like things easy. All right, so this is a jigging swivel snap combo. And what you do is take your jig, okay, this is attached to your leader, obviously, and then you just go like that. Then bang, just like that, okay? And then you take this, and then do the same. And it's there. Okay? See, this is why I don't like it, because it hangs on the side. But, guess what? It works. Okay? You have your swivel, and it's easy to take on and off. Okay? Even the whole jig, all you do is just basically, just take it off. And it's fast. Bang. Everything you take off. And it's done. Have your jig, your hook here. This is for fast jigging. I think I don't use it as much. As I said, probably for not for jigging, but for casting. Okay, so you have your hook there. Put your jig on. There. Take it off. Just done. All right. Change the size. Bang. Okay. Change to a different jig. No problem. That's it. And that's your bonus right there. Okay. So that is it for this video. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. If you want to learn and you haven't yet, click on that subscribe button. Don't be a dick. If you want your friends to enjoy just as much as you, share this channel. Alrighty. Share it to your friends who are interested to learn. Don't send me guys that don't want to learn. Okay. If guys think that they know better, it's probably better if they don't actually come around. But definitely those guys that want to learn, I want them. That's it. That is it. And if you want to support this channel, click on the join. And that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class is missed.